All right, yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Easy Game here. So, yeah, Marvel Rivals has a big problem. And no, I'm not talking about the balance. So, yeah, I get the balance is piss poor. These balance devs are asleep at the wheel. Hell has been overpowered since beta and just doesn't get nerfed. Winter Soldier's broken. Psylocke's ruining the game. Yeah, I get it. Balance sucks. You know, at least they got Gambit right. He's actually a fun and new character that isn't terrible and has shaken up the game. So they got one right. So hopefully that helps the game. But that's not even what I'm talking about today. Today I'm talking about the community that is left playing this game. It is by far the most loser and degenerate community of any competitive game I've ever played, and that's saying something because I played World of Warcraft PvP for a long time. So for me to say that, it's not an easy feat to accomplish. And I didn't play Overwatch except for, the first couple seasons, so I don't know what Overwatch's community turned into after all the, normal players like kind of moved on and played the next new game, right? I imagine it's pretty terrible from what I'm seeing on Marvel Rivals, and it's just pretty cringe and loser, but I didn't play, so I wouldn't know. If you did play in the comments, let me know how bad it was, because I feel like that's what's left playing Marvel Rivals, because let's be honest, most of the people left playing this game are, Overwatch rejects, or maybe just Marvel fans at the lower ratings, but the people at the top end are probably just Overwatch rejects who have been playing it for 10 years and can't play anything else, and all they play is hero shooters. And it sucks because I don't know if you guys have been noticing the same thing I have, but for some reason, obviously, let's be honest, the honeymoon phase of the game is kind of gone away. The new players that were playing at the start when the game was hyped and popular, a lot of them have quit and moved on to Arc Raiders or whatever other new game that they're playing now. And the people left playing this game, like I said, are Overwatch rejects. And I don't know if you guys have had the same experience as me, but this new season, for some reason, the game quality is at an all-time low. I feel like every other game I have a thrower who's either intentionally throwing or he's just picking a character he doesn't know how to play to just have fun, quote, and just essentially doing the same thing as intentionally throwing. It feels like the game quality has gone down astronomically. And at first I thought, it was the fact that they added stacking back to the game. But maybe it's not just that. Maybe there's some other factors at play. I mean, let me know in the comments what you guys think and if you guys have experienced the same thing. But I've been noticing this season, especially, at low GM diamond rating, the game quality is terribly low. But today, specifically what I'm going to talk about is this guy named Billy Butthead. He goes by Kirath on Twitch. Not a big streamer. He has like, 1,000 followers, 30 viewers, nothing crazy. But quite possibly might be the biggest loser, not only in Marvel Rivals, but on Twitch. Maybe even on the planet. Who knows? So we play this game. I'm playing Scarlet Witch. I actually am doing extremely well. Their team comp is very good for my character, apparently. So this is the end of the first round on offense. I'm carrying the team. I have the most damage in the game, most finals. Like, I'm doing great. I only have one death. I'm popping off, to be honest. So then the next round starts, all right? And this cinnamon roll guy decides to lock in Spider-Man, and he types, "I'm throwing unless Witch swaps. They're doing nothing. I'm doing all the damage." And then look, Billy Butthead's playing Widow. So they're clearly, at this point, I didn't even, because his name was blurred out, so I didn't even recognize who it was. And then I see the cinnamon guy throwing, and then, shortly, I figure out that it's actually these three queuing. The Sea Salts, which is some e-girl that's in his chat, that he's a virgin, so of course, those two go hand in hand. And then, Cinnamon Roll's probably just another one of his loser viewers. So they're all queuing together, and they're all trio throwing this game. All right. Keep in mind, this is completely unprompted. I didn't say a single word in voice chat. I didn't say a single word in text chat. In fact, I actually muted him at the start of the game, which is the funniest part about all this, because here, let me show you what happened at the beginning. This is just going to give you an example of how just loser, cringe, and insufferable this motherfucker is. So this is the start of the game right here from my stream.
But I'm trying to bring a bit of order to the universe.
Me double. Me
I mean, just so cringe.
Dude. I'm fitting to go crazy.
double thing.
Oh yeah,
Listen
I
to
forgot
this
about
guy,
that.
man.
Play witch.
He's trying to tell me what to play in some cringe, like, on the spectrum, like, just a freak,
This guy
dude.
on our team
Is deep on the spectrum.
Billy think moon play. No
Yeah.
witch.
That's how it goes.
No
That's a
way.
Penny Parker
Alright.
player for you.
Play moon. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's muted.
3, 2,
So this is the funniest part about all of it. His name's blurred out. I don't even know who he is, and I still have to instantly mute him out of the gates because he's being a loser. He's being cringe. He's trying to tell me what character to play. I mean, this is just so common. I mean, these two go hand in hand. And okay, so let's fast forward back to where we're at now. So the reason this guy's throwing this game, because like I said, it was unprompted in this game. Last week, a whole week ago, I got this guy on my team on a different account. This was on like one of my other accounts when I was like GM2 or something. And I get this guy on my team. It's one of those games where I'm playing tank and my backline's just doing nothing and getting dove by a Venom and they're trying to kill him instead of healing. And I'm just kind of getting ran over on tank the first 2 rounds. I'm basically doing nothing. Or maybe I was playing Mr. Fantastic. I don't remember what I was playing, but I was doing something and I just wasn't having a good game because our backline was just getting farmed and I was the only one frontlining. We end up actually winning, and my stat line, recovers at the end of the game because people change what they're doing. I didn't change anything, but my teammates changed, and I started doing better because I was getting healed. And this guy opens his mouth in the game, and then it turns out when the stat screen shows up, he actually had a worse complete stat line than me. And he links his Twitch, so I go into his Twitch. We're shit-talking each other for a little bit. Of course, I start off by talking about the game, letting him know he's terrible, and, his stat line was worse than mine, so he should shut his mouth, just random, competitive banter, whatever. He shit talks me back. Then of course, he starts losing the argument when he realizes he's never been Eternity. He's played 5 seasons in a row with 5 times my hours played, and he's never been Eternity a single time. So then once he realizes that, he's not going to win this argument in the game, talking about game skill because he's terrible, then he finds, this guy goes through all my social media, finds my YouTube, my Twitter, starts watching full YouTube videos. So he watches like my Charlie Kirk video that I made when the Charlie Kirk assassination happened. And of course, like I said, these people fit in a nice little box. Of course, he's some extreme liberal, mentally ill person who is literally mocking the video and celebrating Charlie Kirk's death live on stream. I mean, I can't write a better script myself. The most punchable face on planet Earth, the most insufferable cringe loser, throwing a game on Marvel Rivals for an interaction that happened a week ago. I mean, dude, you can't write a better script if I tried. I mean, this is the biggest loser on any platform in any game I've ever seen in my life. Throwing a game while playing with viewers for something that happened a week ago. Because, we sat there and argued for, maybe like 10 minutes. And then eventually I was just like, yeah, this guy's wasting my time. Like, this whole community's like cringe. I'm just going to leave. So I just left, went about my life, forgot about this guy. Even if I realized it was him in the starting of the game, I wouldn't have thrown the game. I would have just muted him and kept playing because I'm a normal, functional human with a moral compass. I'm not going to throw a game because of one loser when I have 4 other teammates. That's just the ultimate loser behavior. Whether I want him to lose or not is beyond that, right? I'm not going to throw because of the other people on my team. But of course, these people don't follow that philosophy. They have 0 morals and they're just demonic scumbag human beings. So of course, that's how it is. So they proceed to throw the game. I'm sure they're laughing like hyenas on their little cringe community stream, throwing a party. They probably think it's the funniest thing. I mean, I'm on my 3rd Smurf. I don't really care about losing. It's more so about the principle. You're throwing a game because of a bad interaction that happened a week ago where, first of all, you're the one who started the shit talk, and this is what you do a week later. Grow up. Grow the fuck up. You are the biggest loser on earth. And unfortunately, this is a really bad example, and like I said, probably the biggest loser I've ever seen on Marvel Rivals and on Twitch. I mean, he's just one of those, Bomb, I'm gonna make it. Living at his mom's house at 25, playing 24/7 with 0 bills, still somehow horrendous at the game. I mean, not somebody worth holding a grudge against, but clearly this guy doesn't feel the same about me. I'm a pretty big deal as far as he's concerned in his own head because he's obsessed with me to this day, apparently. But it's just like, man, grow up. Like, how much of a loser can you be? And unfortunately, I feel like this is pretty common. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like this happens every game, maybe not to this extreme where it's some loser trio queue streaming it happen and intentionally throwing, but I feel like there's a thrower in every other game. Like the game quality has gone down exponentially this season from what I've experienced. And whether it's from the, stacking being added back or people just not caring or the community getting worse, I don't know what it is, but it feels like this community is by far one of the worst of any game I've ever played. And don't get me wrong, I'm no saint either, but at least I try to win every single game I play. I never intentionally throw. I might pick a character I don't normally play, but I'm still trying to win. These people are literally intentionally throwing a game with other people who have nothing to do with us shit-talking each other a week ago. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, this kid is the biggest loser on Twitch. You know, when I say punchable face, I mean it by every definition of the book. If you look it up, it probably has a picture of his face next to it. Just the most insufferable, obnoxious. I had to mute him before the gates opened, before I even knew who he was. That says all you needed. I mean, oh man, this community is bad. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously I'm not encouraging anyone to go into a stream and shit talk him, but I have a feeling it's going to happen anyways. But yeah, the guy's a loser. So anyways, I'm out. Till next time. Peace.